Welcome to my garage and my first ever YouTube video. Here is my Porsche 924 Turbo that I recently bought, and in this video series take you along and show you how to do some of the maintenance and repairs that I'm gonna do with this winter project. I'm not a mechanic, I don't work on cars as my daily job, so what I'm gonna show you is how I do these kinds of maintenance and repairs, and it's not necessarily how Porsche recommend to do it, but if you like to follow me along with this project, and if this type of cars and projects are something that you are interested in, please tag along and I will show you a lot of cool stuff. And if you like what you see, please consider and subscribe. This is something that is free for you and would help me a lot. So let's talk a little bit more about this car in detail. But first, let's have a short introduction to the Porsche 924 Turbo. The Porsche 924 was a joint venture between Porsche and Volkswagen. Porsche needed a car to replace their model 914, and Volkswagen was aiming for a flagship sports car. Porsche did the design of the car, and they also did the development of the chassis. The engine, a 4-cylinder 2-liter engine, is from Volkswagen, and transmission from Audi. But Volkswagen scrapped the project in favor of the Golf-based Scirocco. Porsche then bought the project back from Volkswagen, and they decided to release it under their own brand, and the 924 is the result of that project. Making its debut in 1975, the 924 was very liked for its handling and weight distribution, with its gearbox in the rear, making it 48% front and 52% in the rear. But with the engine, the 924 only made 123 horsepower for the European markets. And people already then said that the chassis was so good so that it could handle a lot more power. In 1978, Porsche released the 924 Turbo, now with a power output of 170 horsepower for the European market. This car got a lot of praise from the automotive community and journalists alike for its great handling and supercar performance, matching cars like the 911 SC 3.0 and the Porsche 928, BMW 635 CSI and Aston Martin V8. To achieve this power output, Porsche engineers made some big improvements of the car. This made the engine 29 kilos heavier, so springs and the front end of the car needed some upgrades. Also, the car got disc brakes all around. In 1981, the Porsche 924 Turbo got some upgrades, and it's today called the Series 2. The model got a new turbo design, since the old turbo design was prone to overheating. It also got a higher compression and improved fuel injection system with the digital ignition timing control, resulting in power output now increased from 170 horsepower to 177. And thanks to a smaller turbo house, the turbo lag was decreased. For many years, the Porsche 924 has been considered the poor man's Porsche, especially the entry model, since it was the cheapest Porsche in the lineup. But in recent years, the 924 model has got some more interests and people are starting to appreciate them more and more. The sticker price of a 924 Turbo in 1980 was around $2,000. That's around $72,000 in today's money value. So it wasn't that cheap as many thinks. This car is a Porsche 924 Turbo 1982 model year. So it's over 40 years old. It has around 250,000 kilometers on the clock and 8 previous owners. So not that many owners considering the age. I bought this car a couple of months ago at an online auction, and at the time it was the cheapest 924 Turbo in both Sweden, where I'm from, and also in the whole of Europe. It's running and driving, and let's take a tour of the car and I will show you some more things about it. So here we can see the car, and from afar and overall it looks really good, I think. Of course, being a 40-year-old car, it has some cosmetic issues and also some mechanical issues, but we're gonna talk about those a little bit later. But here you can see a bad repair job, not looking that good. Also a lot of rock chips, as you might expect from an old car. But these repair jobs are awful, really bad. Also have one up here on the roof. It looks really bad. Not even sure how they did this. So that needs to be addressed. Also, we have some bad repair jobs on the side here. As you can see, the color match is terrible and the job is so bad. So that needs to be addressed as well. We have similar issues on the back here. Here you can see over the Turbo logo, same thing there. And being a Swedish car, it also has some rust here that we're gonna take a closer look at later on. And on this side, some more minor things and a lot of dents here on this fender. So yeah, also down here, another thing that you might see is that the wheels are not wheels for the 924. This is a 911 wheel, I think, and might look kind of cool, but the offset is totally wrong. You can see that it's sticking out here, and also in the back they are sticking out too much, so we have interference with the wheel when you go over bumps. So I have the original wheels that came with the car. It's the spoke wheels, and I also have the larger 17 machined wheels. So let's have a look inside. Yeah, let's see here. So one cool thing about this car is that it's a dogleg transmission. So you have first down here, and then you have reverse up. Kind of tricky to drive, but you get used to it quite fast. And typical old school Porsche. This one has a turbo meter, a clock, and oil pressure. Otherwise, the original Blaupunkt stereo, really cool, and also original steering wheel. So yeah, this is pretty much it. Manual windows, and you have the cool Porsche engraving here. Also here, glove box. A cool feature is this. Wow, Look at that. How clever. Yeah, so this car is basically all original. So the previous owner have replaced the dashboard, so this one does not have any cracks, and it looks so good. Totally looks brand new. It is brand new, and the car looks really good inside here as well. The previous owner also redid the seats, so the front seats have new covers, but the back is still the original seats. And on this car, no sunroof, as you might have seen. A cool feature is this turbo logo, I think. And you see here, carpets needs to be reattached, and a little bit cleaning up needs to be done. But let's have a look inside the engine compartment. So this car does not have gas struts, it's manual, and the hood is really heavy. So here you have it, the 4-cylinder 2.0 liter engine. Looks as expected from a 40-year-old car, I think. A little bit dirty, but everything looks to be in order. Need to be cleaned, I think. One thing that we need to address is these old cracked fuel lines. Really bad. So these one are high on the priority list. Down there is the turbo, so this is the charge pipe to the intake. And let's see if you can see. You see that there is a lot of grease, and it looks like to be engine oil here down there. This is because I think we have too much positive crankcase pressure, the PCV system. So that is one thing that we're gonna address first, I think. You can also see here's the catch can reservoir for the fumes. Cracked hoses there. And this old hose looks to be kind of bad shape. So yeah, the first order of business might be to take a look at that, and maybe also remove the intake and the charge pipe to clean and to have a look. To be able to access the crankcase ventilator on the block, you need to remove the whole intake. So hopefully we don't need to do that. Hopefully we can just do this, do some cleaning. Something else that needs to be done is to replace the shocks. This is really bad. As you can see here we have the rubbing that I was talking about, the interference with the fender, and you can also see I haven't been driving that hard, but that much travel on just a speed bump, that's that's because of the shocks. Another thing that we need to replace is this exhaust. I think it looks a little bit beaten up. It sounds too much for my taste, and it's not original, so we'll need to be addressing that. So now you know a little bit more about this car and the model history of the 924. I will do some regular maintenance, some body repairs, and maybe some upgrades to this car. I will not do a full restoration of this car at this moment. My goal with this car is to make it a solid driver and that looks okay, but not new. So I hope that this is something that you are interested in watching, and follow me and this car on its journey ahead. If you like to support me, just smash that subscribe button. It's free for you and it would help me a lot. And I hope to see you in the next video.